Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a chemistry session. Here we are discussing about chemical bonding chapter. In this session we are going to see a practice sheet related to this chapter. In the earlier sessions we have discussed so many concepts from this chapter. So based upon that we are going to see a practice sheet now. This is a practice sheet 2 which includes the level 2 questions like multi-character answer type, comprehension passage type, matrix matching, assertion region, statement type, and even analytical approach questions. So let us see this all one by one. First, let us go through the multi-character answer type questions. See the first one among those. Identify the correct statements from the following. See the first statement among these. Triple bond counts as one sigma bond. Yes, of course. Any bond between two atoms will be containing at least one sigma bond. The other bonds will be pi bonds. If it is single bond, it will be sigma bond. If it is a multiple bond, one bond will be sigma bond, remaining bonds will be pi bonds. In the same way, in the triple bond also, one is sigma bond, the remaining two are pi bonds. Next, triple bond contains three sigma bonds. It is not true. Between any two atoms, there exists only one sigma bond. Next, triple bond contains zero pi bonds. No, it is not correct. For example, if we take nitrogen molecule, in the nitrogen molecule between two nitrogen atoms, there exist three bonds. Out of these three bonds, one is sigma bond, remaining two are pi bonds. So triple bond contains two pi bonds. These two are correct answers. Okay. Next, in which of following molecules formation electron transfer occurs? So what kind of bond it is called if electron transfer occurs? That is called ionic bond. So generally the bond formed between a metal and non-metal results in the transfer of electrons and hence it forms a ionic bond. Now see in which molecules there is a metal and non-metal. See the first one, NaCl. The sodium is a metal which can donate an electron and chlorine is ready to accept electron. So between these two, ionic bond will be formed or electron transfer occurs. In the same way, magnesium oxide formation. Magnesium is a metal which is ready to lose two electrons whereas oxygen is ready to gain those electrons. So between these two also electron transfer occurs. And if we see calcium sulfide, calcium is a metal, sulfur is a non-metal. So between these two also electron transfer occurs. Even potassium fluoride is also a molecule in which electron transfer occurs because potassium is metal, fluorine is non-metal. Okay, in this all electron transfer is occurring from metal to non-metal and they result in the formation of ionic compounds. Okay, next one. Identify the correct statements regarding multiple bonds. Multiple bonds means the chemical bond in which more than one pair of electrons are shared between two atoms. They are double bond and triple bond. Now let us see here what about this multiple bond they asked here. Less bond length than a single bond. Yes, it is correct. Because as the number of bonds between the two atoms increases, both the atoms will be held strongly from one to another and hence they come close, thus bond length decreases. Okay. Next, more reactive than a single bond. Yes, it is also correct. Next, consists of at least one pi bond. Of course, multiple bonds contains along with the sigma bond, at least there will be one pi bond. There may be one or two. Consists of one sigma bond. It is also correct. Multiple bonds will be compulsory, will be having one sigma bond in them. Remaining will be pi bonds. So all are correct statements here. Next, identify the correct statements regarding coordinate covalent bond. Coordinate covalent bond are nothing but dative bond. Bonded electrons are contributed by only one atom. Yes, of course. Donor atom in a dative bonds are Lewis bases. Yes, actually the covalent bond in which both the shared pair of electrons are contributed by one atom and shared by both the atoms is called coordinate covalent bond or dative bond. In the dative bond formation, electron pairs are contributed by only one atom, and that atom or molecule which is donating this pair of electrons is called as Lewis base, and the atom or ion or molecule which is accepting that pair of electrons is called as Lewis acid. Okay, and donor atoms are also called as ligands. So here also all the statements are correct. Next, which of the following shows hydrogen bonding? Yes, hydrogen bonding means the electrostatic force of attraction between the electropositive hydrogen atom and electronegative atom of the same molecule or another molecule. Electronegative atoms like fluorine, nitrogen, oxygen, they can exhibit this hydrogen bonding with hydrogen atoms. See the molecules water, hydrogen fluoride, and ammonia. In this, hydrogen bonding exists. Okay, next. Which of the following molecules is or not linear? See the molecules mentioned here. Carbon dioxide is a linear molecule. It is linear molecule. And nitrogen dioxide. In this, nitrogen is connected with the two oxygen atoms and still it is having a lone pair of electrons and hence it will come into the bent shape. Whereas sulfur dioxide is also having a lone pair of electrons after connecting with the two oxygen atoms and hence it also will be with the bent shape or angular shape. ClO2. This also has a lone pair of electrons in the central atom chlorine or even after connecting with the oxygen atoms and hence it also will be the bent shape. Only carbon dioxide molecule has no lone pairs on the central atom, only two bond pairs, hence it will be the linear shape. Now they're asking here which are not linear. So these three are the correct answer because they are not linear molecules. They are bent molecules. Okay, next. How are bond length and bond energy are related? See the statement, the longer the bond length, lower the bond energy. Yes, if the bond length is greater, bond energy will be low because bond length greater means both the atoms will be apart from each other. So the breakage of the bond requires less amount of energy only. Next, the longer the bond length, higher is the bond energy. No. Shorter the bond length, higher is the bond energy. Yes, this is also correct. So if the bond length is shorter, both the atoms will be very close to each other. So they'll be held with the electrostatic force strongly. The breakage of bond requires more and more energy. So the bond energy will be greater. The shorter the bond length, lower the bond energy. This is also not correct. Only these two are correct statements. Next, the molecules with sp3 hybridization on their central atom among the following. See, the molecules with the sp3 hybridization on their central atom. CH4 has sp3 hybridization. In the H2 molecule, oxygen is also having sp3 hybridization. CCl4, in this also carbon has sp3 hybridization, and here also carbon in the ethane molecule. Here also carbon has sp3 hybridization. All are correct answers. Okay. Next. Now let us see comprehension passage type questions. See the comprehension first. The electrostatic force of attraction between a partially positive or charged hydrogen atom of a polar molecule and a highly electronegative atom of the same or different molecule is known as hydrogen bonding. See the first question on this. Which among the following elements can participate in hydrogen bonding? So we know the atoms with the high electronegativity can participate in the hydrogen bonding. The elements with the high electronegativity are generally atoms like fluorine, nitrogen, oxygen. These elements are having high electronegativity and thus these can participate in the hydrogen bond formation. Actually, it should be the single answer, single correct answer, but given multi correct here, no worry. These three are correct answers. Next one, intramolecular hydrogen bond is present in intramolecular. So we know the hydrogen bonding in which the electropositive hydrogen atom of one molecule is being attracted by the electronegative atom of the same molecule. Then that kind of hydrogen bonding is called intramolecular hydrogen bonding. This is generally observed in certain organic compounds like orthonitrophenol. The remaining three here, the given options will be having intermolecular hydrogen bonding. That means in these molecules, hydrogen, electropositive hydrogen of one molecule is being attracted by the electronegative atoms of another molecules. Hence, these are called intermolecular hydrogen bondings. Okay. Next, what is the maximum number of hydrogen bonds in which a water molecule can participate? So a water molecule can participate a maximum of 4 hydrogen bonds because central atom oxygen has 2 bond pairs as well as 2 lone pairs of electrons on its central atom. So that's why oxygen atom can participate. This water molecule can participate in the 4 hydrogen bondings of maximum. Okay. Next, matrix match type questions. See the matching here. In the column 1 they have given certain molecules, and in the column 2 they mentioned their type of overlapping and type of bonding present in them. See the first one, hydrogen molecule. In hydrogen molecule there will be SS overlapping, and that results in the formation of a single bond, only a single bond. That's about hydrogen molecule. If you see another molecule, nitrogen. In this nitrogen molecule, p orbitals of two nitrogen atoms, they overlap each other, and thus they result in the pp overlapping. And this nitrogen molecule has multiple bond, isn't it? It has a triple bond. What about chlorine next? In the chlorine molecule, both the chlorine atoms, they have single electrons in their p orbitals, so they overlap each other. Thus, they result in the pp overlapping. And here chlorine molecule has only a single bond. Okay. And what about HCl molecule? In the HCl molecule, hydrogen has a single electron in s orbital, chlorine has in p orbital. So these two will overlap and results in the sp overlapping. And in this HCl molecule also having only a single bond. So this is the matching. Observe once the matching given here. Okay. Next, one more matching. Say some molecules are mentioned in the column 1 and the type of bonding mentioned in the column 2. Let us try to match these. If you see F2 molecule, it is between the same atoms and hence it will be a non-polar covalent bond. So it is a first covalent bond we can say, and as it is being formed between the same atoms, we can see this is also a non-polar covalent bond. And in case of ozone molecule, in the ozone molecule, all are the same kind, and there exists one dative bond as well as covalent bond. So here also you can say there exists a dative bond and even a covalent bond also, and even all are high oxygen atoms, and hence the covalent bonds thus formed will be non-polar covalent bonds. Okay. Next, another matching, ammonia molecule. In ammonia molecule, the atoms participating in the covalent bond are different atoms, nitrogen and hydrogen. As they have electronegativity difference, the covalent bond so formed will be polar covalent bond. So ammonia molecule has polar covalent bonds, and they are covalent, polar and covalent. And ammonia molecules also exhibit hydrogen bonding also between them, isn't it? Next, another matching, water molecule. Water molecule also having different atoms, and hence the covalent bond formed will be polar, polar covalent bond. Okay. And this water also has hydrogen bondings in it. Sorry, hydrogen bondings. Okay, this is a matching. Observe once. So these are called matrix matching type questions. Each one from the column 1 may be matched with more than one from the column 1. One or more than one may be matched. So we have to observe carefully. We have to match all the correct options. Right? Next, statement type questions. See the first question among these. Statement 1. Double bond is shorter than a single bond. Of course, by the formation of multiple bonds, atoms in a molecule they come close and hence the bond length decreases. So this statement is correct. Next, statement 2. Sigma bond is weaker than pi bond. Is it correct? No. Sigma bond is stronger than a pi bond because in the extent of overlapping is maximum in case of sigma bond and hence it is stronger than that of pi bond. So now statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. Here it is, here it is. Okay, next, assess and reason type questions. See the question here. A pi bond is formed when a sigma bond is already exists. Yes, it is correct. Because always a pi bond is formed after the formation of a sigma bond. First, when two atoms approach each other, they overlap their atomic orbitals on their axis of nuclei and hence results in the formation of a sigma bond. And then only a pi bond is formed. So a pi bond is formed by the lateral overlapping of atomic orbitals. Yes, it is correct. So because already a sigma bond is formed by the face-to-face overlapping of atomic orbitals, and hence a pi bond will be formed by the lateral overlapping. So you can say both A and R are correct, and R is the explanation for A. Okay. Next, analytical approach questions. See the first one. Observe the reaction bit shown here. So here what is happening, observe once. Ammonia molecule and H plus ion both are combining. Thus ammonia molecule it is donating pair of electrons from its central atom nitrogen and hence a covalent bond is formed between these two ammonia and H plus ion that we can say as a coordinate covalent bond. Now what they're asking here, NH4 plus ion thus formed has, see already these two are covalent, these three are covalent bonds and this ammonia molecule is connected with H plus ion with a dative bond. Now totally there are three covalent bonds and a one coordinate covalent bond. Where it is three polar covalent bonds and a coordinate covalent bond. This is correct. Okay. Next. Which of the following is not characteristic of a covalent bond? See the characteristics given here. It involves orbital overlapping. Yes, by the atomic orbital overlapping only, these covalent bonds are formed. This is explained in the valency bond theory to us. Next one, it is formed by sharing of electrons. Yes, a covalent bond is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons only. Next, it is formed with transfer of electrons. No, it is not correct because by the transfer of electrons, an ionic bond is formed but not a covalent bond. And this covalent bond is directional. Yes, because it is formed between the two prescribed atoms by sharing of electron pair. So hence we can say between those two atoms it is limited. So we can say it is directional bond. Covalent bonds are directional, whereas ionic bonds are non-directional. Now what they're asking, which of the following is not a characteristic of covalent bond? This is that. It is not formed by the transfer of electrons. It is formed by just sharing of electrons between the atoms. Next, which kind of bonding can be found in a sample of H2O? So if a sample of water molecule if it is seen, it will be having hydrogen bonds. Okay, it is mentioned here only, so it is not correct. It has a non-polar covalent bonds, of course it is correct, but not only non-polar covalent bonds. And also ionic and non-polar hydrogen bonds. No ionic bonds in the water molecule. It has covalent bonds. Also here both polar covalent bonds and hydrogen bonding. This is correct, isn't it? Between hydrogen and oxygen there exist polar covalent bonds, and between the water molecule there exists hydrogen bonding. So it is correct answer. Okay, this is a level 2 practice sheet. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today for latest updates on recorded videos. And please visit our website aimstoday.in for another information regarding online classes, quizzes, live worksheets, do-it-yourself activities, English classes, reasoning classes, and even for coding classes. Okay, thank you.